Hello guys, so I'm going to carry on with the discussion that we started the other day, talking about how in prehistoric times, which is the vast majority of our time on Earth according to anthropologists, humans did things for ourselves, and that was profoundly satisfying. That's why we like camping and barbecuing and making stuff and fixing stuff, and it gives us a deep sense of satisfaction. So what's happened since then, and we won't break it all down, is that we've ended up in the last 10,000 years with a civilization where it's pretty much a kind of pyramid structure, where in tribes, like we've described, we did things for ourselves, we did things for each other. Now, in our society today, what do we have? We have a kind of a pyramid where the information comes top down. And that applies whether it's government, it's science, it's education, it's religion, whatever you look at. We are told what to think, how to behave, what decisions to make, what to do from the top down. But the wealth that's generated by everyone's work goes upwards, up the structure, into the pockets and the coffers of a very small minority. Okay, now we're not here to bitch and moan. We're here to tell the truth and just acknowledge that that is the way that things are. However, good news is that shit is starting to change. And it's changing in many, many levels. So you could look at finance, right? Obviously, central banking, complete scam, fiat currency that's not based on anything real. They just make it up on a computer. It's just sucking the wealth and the value out of the community. In politics, people are turning away from believing in the party system in their droves and wanting to do things more for themselves. So in finance, we've got crypto, right? Crypto came out of a need because the tension got too great. And people started to say, well, why do we need banks? Why can't we be our own bank? Why can't we be our own government? Why can't we do our own education? If you've seen the growth of homeschooling now, and parents saying we just don't trust the state anymore to teach our children how to think and to be intelligent. This school system now just tells us what to think. And university, you come out with these massive loans to come out being told what to think, not how. And when it comes to the professional stuff, we're educating each other as well. So what's happening is the whole thing's going full circle into a new kind of society and a new economy where we, again, are doing things for ourselves. Now, we've got a much, much, much bigger tribe. But we're doing it for ourselves and for each other in a new way that we've never seen before, and that's really, really exciting. So what are other areas? I mean, let's look at religion, right? Classic top-down control structure from the start. You're going back to like Martin Luther railing against the church. The priesthood, Jesuit-trained priesthood, they knew Latin. The common man didn't know Latin. They were the only people that could translate the scriptures and just tell us what to think, how to behave, right? Now what have we got? We've got people saying, that just doesn't work for me anymore. I don't need that anymore. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut out the middleman and I'm going to have my own direct experience of the truth, of the divine, and thank you very much. And this is happening in all kinds of areas, and even health. And this is the key thing that I want to focus on. We've had, only for 100 years, this complete bullshit Rockefeller and Carnegie designed conspiracy to own healthcare with pharmaceuticals made out of petroleum products, the education all controlled, that Rockefeller bought his way onto the boards of all the medical schools. Carnegie commissioned the Flexner Report, which said that only scientific medicine could be trusted, and basically outlawed all homeopathic approaches, which had actually done us very well for an awful long time. So what we've got this situation now, everyone's getting fucking sick. People are getting sick, they're getting sicker year on year. something like 90% of people now in westernized countries are going to die of chronic diseases. Sorry about the bumps. Chronic diseases which manifest slowly over time. Our food system, same thing. National dietary guidelines put together by corporations that tell us to eat stuff that is not suitable for human beings, like grains and seed oils, right? And then people do what they're told, they eat that crap, and they get sick. That is what is causing chronic disease. And then you buy these pharmaceuticals, which of course don't heal a damn thing, right? If they healed you, that would be bad for business. The whole pharmaceutical cartel is built on not healing you. It is not healthcare. It's sickness management, very clever sickness management. It goes hand in hand with the food, it goes hand in hand with all the other environmental pollutants. And guess what? People are waking up to it. So we've had biohacking as a thing around for a few years. They've always been your hedge witches and your homeopaths and, operating kind of in the grey areas. But now what we're seeing is normal people expressing their mistrust in the medical system and turning away. And that for me is really, really exciting. So again, we're not trusting the academic or the medical journals. We're not trusting what the studies say, because we know what, studies can be made to say whatever you want. And we're seeing it. And we've seen it like to an incredible degree in recent years. We won't go into details on that, right? But people are now saying, we are taking our health back. We are taking our healing back. And for me, the most significant thing that I have seen in my lifetime for that, even more than diet, is what MPG came out with in just last year, just 12 months ago. Right? This company has been around for just over 3 years, literally started 3 years ago. But in 2024, early 2024, they were offered this product, this matured hops extract product, which had actually been around since the 1950s, but it cost $1 million a gallon to extract back then, right? Another company's been working on, well, lots of people have been working on different ways to extract these mature hops bitter acids from the hops flowers. This company approached Marketplace Global and said, we've got this product. Do you want to take it to market? Marketplace Global said yes. And then the company just went astronomical, right? The turnover went up like 10, 20 times when this product came out, and it was marketed as a weight loss thing to start with, right? Because it does burn visceral fat. It does tell your body to burn visceral fat. But the side effect of that is that it takes your body out of fight and flight, if you're in fight and flight, it puts it into rest and digest and repair and heal mode. So when it does that, what we're discovering is, and this is literally in the last 12 months, what we're discovering is, wow, your body can heal itself. And the things that we are seeing, I am not permitted to tell you. I cannot publish this, right? I can tell you one-to-one, but I cannot publish this, right? For legal reasons, because it's all tied up, right? The information flow is controlled from the top down. But we are finding, this is, in my view, the biggest revolution ever. And what's more, we're taking back the business side of it, right? Instead of all this money now flowing up into the coffers of Big Pharma, which is the same owners as Big Food and everything else, then what we've got the direct selling model, which has been around for a generation. But now what you can do is, so let's apply the same thing to business. We're talking decentralization. We're talking people doing it for themselves. We're talking the wealth staying within the community instead of being siphoned off up to the people with the most capital. You can have a business now for less than $30 if you're in the UK. It's less than $10 in most other countries to have your own business, very own. You become an entrepreneur. This is the way that it's going. So it's like, in my mind, it's like getting into Bitcoin 5 years ago, right? Or 10 years ago, you know? And because of the structure is beautiful. This is what I'm trying to express, and this is what I'm going to be putting into a new video that I want to bring out. This is the time to get involved, because you can have your own business. You can grow that business by helping other people to reclaim their vitality. The results we're seeing are amazing. There's thousands of people joining every month. It's just incredible. So don't say I didn't warn you, right? We are at a particular point in history now when it comes to health. This is like the next domino to fall. It's health. People are turning away from big pharma. People are turning away from scientism. There's this religion built around science. They're saying, we're going to listen to each other now. We're going to listen to what actually works, what's always worked, rather than listening to your doctor or whomever, you know. So now is the time. Now is the time to get on board with this. And because of the structure, it's like investing in crypto. The earlier you get in, it builds and builds and builds. And the more of us that are ready, the more of us that are sick and tired enough of this bullshit system that we've been living in to say, okay, right, we're going to do it together, right? Then it swells, it swells, it swells. Nobody goes back to the old system, right? So whether it's finance, it's education, it's religion, health, all of these things, this is the way that our society is going now. Get on board. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your loved ones. You are allowed to do it. The only reason that we think that we're not allowed to do it is because they have told us, the people who have got a vested interest in us not reclaiming our power, have told us that we shouldn't do it. But we can, and we are, and millions of people are doing it all the time. And once you make that switch, you never go back. So get involved on whatever level you can. It's amazing. It's working. Now's the time. If you want to know more about the product, then just drop me a comment. If you want to know more about the business, likewise, drop me a comment. Like I say, there's very little that I can put publicly on Facebook, but if we have a one-to-one conversation, I can tell you whatever you want to know. I can answer all of your questions. See you later.